Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, actually, good afternoon. Depends on where you are, I guess. On the East Coast, it's a good afternoon. Right here in North Carolina, we're going to be doing another reveal today. Just for Mike Connor. I'm Chuck Daughtrey, and this is Copper Coins, original roll reveal number 289. Today's date is the 30th of July, 2021, and this is a 1955S original machine wrapped roll. I'm assuming it's a 55S. It was sold to me as a 55S. It has a wheat back on both ends, and it has 1955S inscribed on the roll. So we will all be surprised if it's not 55S. And I'm ready to get going. What about you? I think we have established where we are, what we're doing, and everything else. Let me get my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. And here we go. Let me go ahead and let's say hi to everybody here. Got Yo Man, Eric Beyer, Coin Hunter. Mac is here. I know we've got more than that in here. It's got a bunch of people afraid to say hello. Bill Crescent is here. Hello, Bill. Yeah, let's get a couple of lurkers. Like a lurker. Somebody who comes in just to watch and never says anything. Say hi to us. You guys all count too. All lurkers matter. And get anybody to come out of their skin? I guess I have to wait till next time for that. Max driving. Well, you drive, and I'll look at the coins. How does that sound? Looks like we've got a full roll, and it does appear that they're 55S. Even with my glasses on, I have a little bit of a hard time seeing it, so I got my big scope up. We can go ahead and start going at it. Got really nice toning on both ends of this roll. What do we have toward the middle? Well, toward the inside of the roll, doesn't appear that there's any toning here. And we do have the big scope up. Nice clear picture. I like it that way. This is a lot better than the dyno. A couple little die scratches in around the eye. And nothing else of value on that side. Let's take a look at the reverse and see this beautiful toning on here. This has got all kinds of really nice color. Doesn't show up very well in the scope, but it's okay. I mean, it shows relatively well. What it definitely shows me is that there is no doubling on this side of the coin, as is generally expected with 1955S, because, well, we generally just don't see anything now. Oh, I started with coin number 50. Why did I do that? I should flip it over like this and start with coin number 1, and it goes to Lucy. Lucy gets coin number 1, relatively recent subscriber to Copper Coins. And now we have Carl. Carl Ignatz comes in second. Coin number 2. And let me change my exposure down just a little bit. Not that much. And change my gain just a little bit. And that looks about right. Let's take my color saturation down just a little bit. There we go. That looks more like a coin. Okay. Moving right along. Okay, there's that part of it. Let's see. Nothing in and around the eye. Nothing here on trust. A little mark on we, but that's a little bit of tiny bit of coin damage. This little bit of doubling that you see next to the TY of Liberty is on all 1955 cents to some degree or another. On these it tends to show up pretty well, but that is not a double die. That is part of a master die issue. Also, on many of them, you're going to see a little bit of doubling on the top of the B and the E of Liberty. And this one doesn't happen to show that very well. But all of this stuff that you're seeing on Liberty here is master die doubling. It is not a double die. And let me take a look at the reverse on this one. I'd love to find a double die reverse on a 1955S. That would be my first. Never seen such an animal. If they do exist, which, well, we don't know until we look. Coin number 3, Malcolm. Malcolm McLaughlin, not McClanahan. What do you have here? It looks more or less normal. More normal than less. I was looking to see if maybe it was RPM number 5, but it is not. And keep peeking around to see if I can find anything here of any real good value. See, there's your TY doubling again. Down there across the left bottom side of the letters. Take a quick look at the reverse and see if we have anything to be talking about on the reverse, and then we'll move on to the next coin in the roll. What did you want to see again, Bill? You wanted to see the TY? You talking about the TY? There's your TY, where next to the T and next to the Y, you have just a little bit of doubling next to each of those letters. Hey, Adam. Good morning, sir. Or good afternoon. It is still morning to me because I got up early this morning and went to the doctor for a checkup. And I just got to work not very long ago, so it feels like early in the morning to me, even though it's past noon. I'm not much of a morning riser. Here's Jim Fletcher. Jim Fletcher's coin. And for Jim Fletcher, it looks like we may have a slight RPM. It's not number 9. Number 9 would have a gouge above the L of Liberty. Let's see. Man, I can see what just barely looks like could be an RPM. But, yeah, it's just not enough. Just not enough there. I mean, Eric will find it if it's been listed already, but I'm kind of doubting that this one is listed, even if it is an RPM. Now, you see that little bit that looks like doubling out in front of the eye? That is actually it's part of the design. It's actually the nose side of the eyeball. It's artistic impression of what an opened eye would look like in 3 dimensions like this. Bas relief. Bas relief, B-A-S relief. Bas relief is the name given to a sculpture that is a 3D item on basically a 2D platform. So coins are basically flat, but they do have relief. Relief meaning stuff that stands out. You can feel the design on them, so they have relief. But that relief is fractions of an inch. Given that it's fractions of an inch, actually it's fractions of a millimeter. Given that the design is so thin, we call it bas relief. Bas is a French word, so the S is silent. It's not bas relief. It's not bas relief, it's bas relief. And as we continue to look, I'm glad my scope is pretending to behave this morning. It's actually looking very good on screen. Don't see that often. Hopefully I can keep these settings and figure out exactly how I got it here, so I can get it here next time, and the time after that, and the time after that. We have a multiple die crack in the right wheat, and the left wheat, what do we have? one die crack running down to a large die chip. So that's a large die chip right there in the middle of the left wheat. Interesting, however, not a die variety. And that one's for Mr. McBride. Alright, now for Deanne. Deanne is next up in the roll. That appears to be another minor RPM. Eric will pick these out, but I'm thinking, yeah, this one shows the lower serif a little bit easier. A 55 DDO and 65 red brown selling for $12,500 on eBay. Chump change. I'll go buy it. Hey, Coin Hunter. You got 12.5 I can borrow? I seem to be a little short. Yeah, I'm only short $12,490. I got a 5 and 4 ones and a couple of quarters in my pocket. I'm sure they'll let me get by calling that $10. Who's next? John Brandebow. John Brandebow will get this coin. It's just unfortunate that we don't seem to be pulling any better value stuff out of here. Is this, this is not the double die lid. This is die scratches inside the eye area. Yeah, seemed to be a little light on change today. We can. Yeah, how about I give you the $10 and then we just call the other $12,490 a personal loan, and I'll pay you back over the next I don't know, 17 years. Oh, Max got $10 to lead into the cause. You know, that way we only need another 123 people. 123 more people at $10, we could buy it. Sissy gets this one. And on this one, I see once again that little die scratch below the 1 of the date kind of shows me that I've got that same little RPM going over and over and over again. And we have what appears to me right up in this area, you can see there's just a little tiny bit of doubling on the corner of the mint mark. And if I get even closer, and make my light brighter, and come around to that side of the lower side of the mint mark, you can see that there's a split on the lower side of the mint mark, but it's oh so minor. I don't know that this is going to count. It may count, it may not count. Yo man found a quarter in his chair, so we got $20.25 going in now. Anybody got another 5? Another $5? Anybody another $5? We're going to buy that coin. Tell them to hang on to it for us. Let's just go bid on it and tell them after we win that we're pooling our money together on it. Just give us another year, we'll come up with it. Right? Number 15, you think? Tell me a marker and I will tell you what I see, or I'll show you what I see. I don't need to tell you. Yeah, if you give me a marker, give me some marker information. I'll actually go back and pull the other ones, or I'll let you do it, one or the other, Eric. 1mm15. We can actually do this. I have to have my keyboard for this. Hang out just a second. Let me grab my keyboard. $1955 S 1mm, and go to number 15. Yeah, this is it. I'm pretty sure. Here, let me get this over where you guys can see it. So we've got this die scratch here, this little pair of die scratches in the TY. We're going to look for that on the coin and see if we can find that on the coin. Not really seeing it there. I'm not seeing any of the other die scratches that are on the example coin. Let's look up in the word in to see if we can find that die scratch, and I don't see that there either. The coin that I'm looking at under the scope is slightly earlier die state than the 15 that's listed. Okay, let's check the reverse for markers, see what we come up with. Down here on the lower reverse, I do not see a die crack near the rim. Where's that coming from? 1, 2, 3, grain number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grain number 4 has no chipping or breaking around it. But it is an earlier die state, so I'm not necessarily going to count on this earlier die state coin fitting the later die state images. What I was looking at more than anything were the die scratches up around the date. That seems to match. Let me see how well it matches. Wow. Near exact match with one die scratch. Not sure what to call that. It looks like a match for the mint mark too. But I don't know. That one's kind of hard to call. What do you guys think? Let me get this die scratch back up. Show you that die scratch, and then I'll bring this back over. Let's do it the other way. There's your wait. Here's your die scratch outside of the one. This right here. Let's move this over a little bit more. And then I will bring this over so that we can see it. Wow, that looks very, very similar, doesn't it? Something on the chin matched. Okay, let's see the chin area. And let me move this up. Yeah. I'm not seeing it. The angle of the direction is a little bit different. Let me get this down to size. So I've got the image and my scope are about the same size now. Yeah, I'm not seeing any correlation between the two. So it's probably not it. But it was fun looking. Let me go ahead and shut that down so we're back to not needing a keyboard. It's a lot easier when I can do this stuff without the keyboard. Man, my arm is sore. Holy moly. Shingles vaccine hurts. It's like lifting my keyboard was like lifting a 60-pound weight. As my keyboard just got a lot heavier, I just got a lot older. Oops. Bring this back in just a little bit. Focus that in real well. Got a piece of crud on this coin. Move my gain down. Oh, actually, I need to move my lighting down. That's what it was. There we go. Move our lighting back down to normal. Hello, MTN Vaults. Bottom of the 9 to the 1. I did see that. And it's another really faint thing that maybe, may not be. Oh, I'm just, I don't know. We'll pick it apart. We'll do overlay photos and everything and take a really good look at the markers at another time. Right now, let's just go ahead and get through the roll and see if we find any real good goodies. Because even if it is a goodie, it's a minor goodie. And, well, I don't want to not entertain the audience in the way that they came here to be entertained by staring way too long at one coin. So we're just going to move on and we'll get it figured out. One way or the other, we'll get it figured out. Coin number 10 goes to Eric. This coin is for you, Eric. Let's see. A couple of spots on this one. It does appear to have a really minor upper serif RPM. Really minor, though. It's not number 9. No, not number 9. I do recognize that ERTY die scratch, though, for some reason. Maybe it was in something I decided not to keep at a different time. This will be the last one that I'm going to check the reverse on for now, because the reverses are not producing anything as would be expected of 1955S. Unless there's something on this one. So there's another die chip in the upper left wheat, and double die crack in the upper right, or in the right wheat. So we've seen this die before. There's a large die chip on the T of cent. Heavy die scratch north straight out of the center of the T of cent. But nothing else of grandeur value. Now let's move on to coin number 11. Coin number 11 for Sissy Atwell. Sissy will get this coin right here. Coin number 11 is, well, it appears to be normal. That one is normal as it appears. Oh, yuck. That big black spot on that one. It's a machine wrapped roll, too. Ickety doodah. That's coin number 11. Now for coin number 12. Coin number 12 to John Branabeau. And John Branabeau gets this. Yet another normal coin. Gosh, I can't seem to find the rolls that have the goodies in them. What's up with that? Number 13, Sureg. It's like nothing on this one, too. This roll is antagonizing me. It's saying, hey, you're no good at this. I'm like, yes, I am. I'm good at it. My friends tell me I'm good at it, and that's all that matters. What do we have here? It's another example of basically that same thing. No, it's not the same. It's a little bit different, but this one appears to be more like an RPM than the other. It's an earlier die state than the sample coin on the website, but it appears that it could possibly be that same die. What you have to do on things like this is find even the most minuscule permanent marker. Die scratchers are not permanent markers. Die scratches can be polished out. But if you have a die crack, a die chip, a die break, those are permanent markers. Those are things that can't go away, they can only grow. So if you can find a chip something that's chipped out of the die, then you will always know that any coin struck after this coin would have that same marker to an effect. It would be the same or larger. How do, Coin Dragon? Coin Dragon says he's going to drain Niagara Falls sometime soon. He's inviting everyone to come up and spend the night at his place and hop over to Niagara and take a look at the emptied falls for all of the old coins and stuff. He requires a 10% deposit upon check-in. That's for your towels and your internet and your cable TV service. And if you haven't destroyed everything by checkout, he only takes 25% of the coins you found at the falls during your field trip. It's a very fun time. Everybody call Frank about that. Mac, no sir. Unfortunately, I don't have any spots left for that. I think I'm up to, I think I did 200, which that's going to be a, it's going to be a chore in itself. I don't really want to include more in that right now. I will have another proof pull box though. This is not the only one. We had that same die again. It's got that die scratch coming out of the S mint mark. That right there going west out of the S mint mark, and then you've got this angled die scratch at the 1. But last time it didn't show to have anything, and well, unfortunately this time it doesn't really show to have anything. Well, I can imagine it's probably just a little bit on the expensive side to plug up a waterfall, especially one that, dumps a couple of 100,000 gallons a second. Yeah, it's got to be a little bit of a chore plugging up a waterfall like that. Next Saturday, we will be having a metal detecting party in my backyard. Bring your own bug juice. You'll need it. And afterwards, about as useful as hunting my backyard for coins, we will have a puppet show put on by my wife in the puppet theater on my back deck. You'll have to fight Sherman for a front row chair. Yeah, aren't the American Falls in Canada, and then the Canadian one is called something different? Or so I found something to be very unusual about how the falls were named. It was like American Falls is not in the United States, or maybe it is. Well, we're having beautiful results from the microscope. We're just having piss poor results for the roll itself. I can say that because I said that this video was not for children. And it is not for children. Because I say things like piss poor. Wanda! Wanda is in the house. Absolutely no correlation with the fact that I just said piss poor. So, Wanda, don't get a complex about it. I had not noticed that you had arrived when I said that. How is Wanda today? By the way, I do owe you a box. I'm going to tell you a little story about that box. Well, I went to ship a few things to you and realized that I had paid for a small flat rate box, and what I have won't fit in a small flat rate box. So I went back and printed postage on a different order, and oddly enough, I had printed first class postage for you. So now I have first class postage printed, and I have small flat rate box postage printed, but I need to print medium flat rate box for you and get your box sent out because you have more stuff than will fit in a small flat rate box. Yeah, I know, we have Larry and his little fingerprints. If I ever find that little bastard, I want to chew his hands off. I'll have Sherman do it. Well, this roll has a wide variety of condition, but the coins all show very strong indication that they are all from one original source. So this is an original roll, it's just not really pretty. And of course I couldn't have known that because the roll is original. That's exactly what that means. I've never seen the coins inside this roll. We are discovering them together. I like that, Wanda. Thank you very much. Don't forget the coaster that you sent to me. I still use that coaster every day, and I love it, but I can't show it on camera for obvious reasons. You will definitely remember what it said. Well, I can say it in kindergarten version. It says, "Don't blink up the table, please." I love that coaster. Robbie came to the house and he read it and he just started cracking up. He used it for his coffee. I don't know very many coffee mugs that sweat, but go right ahead, buddy. Yeah, I'm not going to be a cannibal. I'll just have Sherman chew it off. And if you don't taste good, he'll spit it out. And he knows if you don't like dogs. So if you don't like dogs, you better learn to hide it before you come over for our metal detecting hunt in my backyard. Is that something that you guys... I guess I should give you a little background. My backyard is a wood line that was in an agricultural field before these houses were built, and borders another agricultural field with a creek in between them. So there's basically not going to be anything worthwhile made of metal between my house and the woods, which are too thick to hunt. With a metal detector anyway. With a gun, you're just fine, especially if you like squirrel. There's plenty of it. Squirrel and rabbit. Got a couple of gray foxes back there, but my neighbors would probably kill you if you mess with their gray foxes. I know I get off on some of the weirdest tangents when I'm talking, especially when I'm going through a roll of coins. Here's one for Jim Fletcher, especially a roll of coins that isn't producing anything. Yeah. Nothing frustrates me more than getting up in the morning and finding that I don't have any creamer for my coffee. Well, maybe opening a roll and doing a 1 hour production for dozens of people on a roll that has nothing in it. That might be the one thing that frustrates me more. She Pirate. Well, how are you doing? I'm glad you found us. We have opened an original roll of 1955 Lincoln cents for the people involved. all of the people's names that you see on the flips to the right have paid in advance for the coins that come out of the roll. And so I'm going through and checking to see if we can find anything of interesting value on the coins prior to shipping them to the people involved. And we are finding that we have a lot of spots, and a lot of icky spots. Which is not good. Somebody at the bank has fingerprints, and they're not good fingerprints. As long as the cat didn't go flying, I guess that's okay. Better close your windows, buddy. Make sure there's a screen or something. Otherwise, your cat's going to find out that it can't fly. That would not be good for a cat to be hanging out the window by an extension cord. We might have to persecute and prosecute you. Cat bugged out. And all you gotta do is put some tuna fish out. She'll come back out. Cat freaked out so bad we didn't see him for another 2 months. Could swear her fur turned a little bit lighter. Probably from lack of daylight exposure. No, Zap Cat doesn't sound good. That's a waste of cat right there. I mean, slow roast over a barbecue, that's better. Zapped is pretty horrible, especially when you don't defur them first. I got that really nasty burnt hair taste. I'm just like Brian. Brian who? Oh, Brian Allen. You think? I don't know. He and I get along pretty well, so we may be two peas in a pod, you know. I am not finding anything in this roll. We are up to coin number 32. I've not found anything that I recognize as having value so far. Go on to Robert Pintoff. Robert Pintoff, coin number 32. Let's see what's on coin number 32. And nada, unfortunately. We do have two more rolls that I'll be taking care of today. We've got a 1959 Philadelphia roll coming up next, and then after that, later on in the afternoon, it will be a 1954 D roll. And then tonight we're doing, even though it's not been scheduled yet, tonight we are going to be doing the pull for proof coins. The proof pull was $1.50 per coin. There's 200 coins that are going to be pulled. All of them are sold. But they run from 1955 up to 2019. It's a fun little game that we can play for $1.50 a coin. That's a cheap pull right there because, well, I tell you what, the 1955 through 1958 proofs are all worth well over $1.50 a coin. And then we get into a lot of the more modern dates that usually sell for $3 to $6 per coin. And that's because the rolls of the more modern date coins are generally $100 to $200 a piece to dealers. I'm not sure if Brian's allergic to cats. I know I am. Yet I have no problem with stinky dogs, so there's something to be said for that. Stinky cats I can't do. Stinky dogs I can. I have never sneezed because of my dog. Cat's fun? I don't know. I've never met a fun cat. Let's just say I'm not highly enthused. This is probably about the clearest picture I've ever had under this scope. I'm not going to move anything. I'll never wash this hand again. A 2020 Philadelphia double die reverse? Seriously? That would be really cool. Is it a really good one, or is it one of the more minor ones? A Chinese buffet. I had some Chinese food the other day that came from one of those little places in the strip mall. That was excellent. My wife had pepper chicken, and she said it was so tender, she actually thought it might be shrimp because it was so tender. And my chicken was perfect. It was really good. I'm going to go back there and get more. The only problem, it's about 10 miles away from the house. Well, okay, you can't get anything less than 10 miles away from the house, but that's not the point. Mr. Pintoff again. There's another one of those with a little die scratch headed west out of the S, which means that it's going to have just what kind of appears to be a little split in the upper serif. We still haven't determined yet whether or not this is going to be a listable die and whether it is already listed. But we're going to find out. It won't be today, but we will find out. Now you're hungry? Just go grab your cup of cool, crisp water. And enjoy every drink, every swallow. What do you say? Something, I don't even know how to say that. So I'm trying to come up with something fun to say. The fat-free, gluten-free, calorie-free water. Yes, exactly. It's just like a statement I saw the other day about not remembering that we were playing Cowboys and Guardians as children. You know, the Cleveland baseball team can no longer be called the Indians because it's offensive. So now they're called the Cleveland Guardians. So I think I'm going to go outside with my imaginary friends and play Bovine Rustlers and Guardians later on this afternoon. And I will, of course, use orange-tipped pistols so as not to alarm my wonderful neighbors who are nosily staring outside, wondering why I'm carrying a gun around in my backyard. Appreciate it, Bill. Thank you very much, sir. Stop back by anytime or call on the first time caller line. Hey, look, an RPM. Finally found an RPM in this roll. Not sure which one this is, but you can see a nice little split on the inside of the left turn clear, the upper left curve. Here, I'll just zoom in where I was. And let me bring my gain up so you can see it a little bit better. And then I'll go over and I'll point at it. There's your upper serif split right there. So you have two serifs right there. And then right over here, this little line represents a separation between one S and a second S. No, this isn't the same one, Eric. No, I'll prove it. Turn my gain back down, refocus. I know what I've got to do. It's just a matter of getting it done. So, stand by. I'm getting old, so you have to... So that's not the same thing, Eric. Not anywhere near the same thing. Okay, well, it could be. What? Oh, man. We really have a puzzle to solve here. This one could be the same. Let's see if we've got our... We don't have the markers for number 15. What reverse markers? Was there a... Can't remember what reverse markers I was using for that other example. We are right. I mean, it could be the same. Could be the same die again. Left wheat stem. But I thought that was if we were using the die markers for number 15. Hey, Bulldog. On lunch break, are we? We've got a small die chip just west. It's in the left wheat grain on the left side, just west of the upper part of the U. We'll get it figured out. For sure, we'll get it figured out. But that's John Brandon Bow. That's definitely an RPM. It's coin number 42. Now coin number 43. To Yo Man. Yo Man. What does Yo Man get? Is that the same? Now see, this is the other die. This is the one that we were looking at before. It's got the scratch west out of the S. But it's also got that die scratch on the 1. But it has different die scratches in front of the chin. And okay, so let me check. It's a new die? Okay. Well, that certainly answers for that. It does not have the die chip that the other one had. It's got a lot of nice markers, but sitting here in front of the scope right now, just going through a roll, chit-chatting with you guys, I have not yet figured out exactly what we're doing with regard to what dies we have and not. Ooh, this one. Marshall's getting a pretty coin here. I don't know what it looks like under the scope, but it sure looks pretty in hand. It's got toning on it. It's really nice toning, too. This one does not appear to be a die variety. It's the same die again as the last coin, which tells me this is definitely an original roll. Now, why these coins are turning all these different colors, I don't know. But it definitely happened in the roll. This roll has been together since 1955. And now, coin number 45. 45. Batting right, left fielder, number 45, Joe McBride. You like it when I do a baseball announcement for you. Hey, there's our cleanup hitter. We have a team now. What's up, time travelers? Coin exchange? Haven't seen you for a little while. A minute or two. Did you cheat on us and go find someone else to watch and realize that we were better? So you came back? Is that what it is? That one looks like it could be an RPM as well. And that's also got the die scratch. But it doesn't have the die scratch protruding from the S. So we do have an RPM going on here. It's just a matter of picking out which RPM it is and, well, what we're doing about it. Well, Time Traveler's Coin Exchange, my attendance punch card shows that you haven't been around lately. I was just about to send the police for a wellness check. That I've already figured out, Eric. It is definitely two different dies. They're completely different die states. But it is interesting that they have a very similar die scratch. Let's see, here's another one. Similar die scratch. I don't think it's the same die again. See, I've seen this die a few times. You've got that marker up there under the T and between the TR. That's actually raised. That looks like a, I don't know, misaligned die clash of wheat greens or something. And then on the reverse side, I know we had a marker. Well, there's a good marker for you. Those real heavy die scratches inside that little space next to the grain. That's a good marker. It's a well-protected area for die scratches to remain for a while. They'll stay there for a minute while you keep making coins. This one goes to Adam Connor. You got to watch some of the channel's new shorts. Yep, Miss Jessica made some of those, and then I'm going to be making some of them as well. Here's another one of the ones with the scratch coming west out of the S. And also a die scratch. Is there any chance that could be a master die scratch? Maybe. But I think it is in a slightly different position, die to die. Man, if it weren't for the nice little story that we've got about all these minor RPMs we're finding, this would be a really crappy roll because there's a lot of spots on these coins. Alright, this one goes to Eric. That's coin number 48. Now for coin number 49. Coin number 49 goes to Stonecutter. Here's Stonecutter's coin. Got a die scratch again under the one. I think this one is altogether a different die. I think we have 3 different dies that have a die scratch going from southeast to northwest under the 1 of the date. 3 different ones. Hey, Papa Jojo. That's coin number 49 for you, folks. Coin number 49. Now we're up to coin number 50. The last coin in the roll. Gonna go to Coin Hunter. Much luck to you, Coin Hunter. Oh, boy. I see something I like. You guys are going to see this in just a minute. Let's check the obverse of this and see what it is. Well, it's another coin with a little die scratch under the 1. But, Bulldog, you have a great day, buddy. Let's do this together. This is the side that was facing the inside of the roll. Let's look at the side that was facing the outside of the roll. Now, if you look at this, you're going to say, doesn't look all that great. But you have to tip it toward light and get the full gist of the color. But there are some nice colors on this toning. It does have a little bit of a scratch running through the coin, right from here down to here. But it's still a very nice looking coin for color. If you back it away from the overburdening very, very close appearance, you start to see a little bit of the color that this coin actually does have. Now you take this with just a little bit of xylene. We'll take that mucky skin off the coin and we'll show you the color much more clearly. And with Coin Hunter's approval, I will do that for him now if he wants to give approval to do that. Hello, Lucy. We've gotten a few toners, a couple of toners, one on the front, one on the back of the roll, and then a few minor double mint marks. And readjust my lighting here. Yeah, if Coin Hunter wants me to take my xylene to this, I will. If he doesn't, then I won't. You want me to do it? Okay. I can show you how you can wake up a toner. Take my cap off my xylene. Now, I apply it with a Q-tip. And with a Q-tip, what you want to do with Q-tips is roll the Q-tip backwards until it gets big and fluffy. Because you don't want it to be the small, tightly twisted head that they come like. You want it to be nice, big, and fluffy. Okay? Then you soak the tip in your xylene. So this is my xylene bottle. And then here's my tip all soaked up full of xylene. And then you take your coin and you just very lightly coat it with the xylene. You should probably be wearing gloves for this. Safety check. Okay, and then that's it. You use the other side to roll it around and dry it. I'm just touching it with like a feather. I'm not scratching the coin at all. And then, don't ever put xylene on plastic, because xylene will melt plastic. Then you can see a little bit more of the color that comes with the coin. That basically just took the heaviest of the muck off the coin. And that does it for that. So it took all the powdery ick off of it. That was a conglomeration of gunk on the coin over years. And if I can show it to you, the luster is actually still there. Because I didn't do anything to scratch up the coin or do anything to that effect. It really just woke up the luster on the coin a little bit. And that's not a very good view of it, but you can kind of see. But that's what that does. So that's coin number 50. Unfortunately, we have a roll that appeared to me to be mostly a normal roll, but I do believe we have a couple of minor RPMs to deal with in this particular roll. I don't know how many of them we have, but it will be quite a few. I noticed that the roll contained probably 5 or 6 different dies, and I think 2 of them were RPMs. So that's what we have this time around. It looks like I've got another show scheduled. I think it's scheduled at 2:30, 3 o'clock. I don't know. Either way, it's less than 2 hours from now. So I've got to get the inserts finished and get everything done for that, and then I'll come online, and you guys will see me in the broadcast room. Come on in, make yourselves comfortable, chit-chat away, and I will see you at the next show. Thanks.